Let's take a moment for a synchronization so that we take a moment to step in a more present way of being with ourselves, with listening, a little bit out of the, let's say, more automatic part of us, where we have thoughts about things, ideas, and let's just take a moment. You might take some breaths and just see if, for example, breathing out a little bit will kind of just feel okay for you to land a little bit more with yourself. So your physical body notices. Look, for the next 60, 90 minutes, we don't need to run somewhere. Maybe for the next 60 or 90 minutes, there is no tiger in my living room. And whatever ideas my mind comes up with, most of them are not true just now. And let's say according to planetary standards, most probably the room you're sitting in just now is safe. Whatever your mind might expect, whatever your conditioning might expect, generally, according to the mental standards of 2019, most probably you sit in a safe space. But if you like, you might just have a moment to check inside. Oh, what am I thinking just now? You might just have a short overview of, oh, what am I thinking just now? There is this guy, and maybe he knows what he's talking about, maybe not. You have heard something about safety, and most certainly your mind has a comment on that. And then, of course, there are also other things of the day, of the morning, of the evening, whichever time zone you are, whatever your day brought already, your night or your evening. And there might be an issue you think about, or there might be the, let's say, random chatter in the background. You also might have a short look at, let's say, the tone of your mental voice. So there is a content of what you think, but there's also a tone to that. Are you a friendly thinker? A nice thinker? A loving thinker? A pushy, pressuring thinker? Supportive thinker? The tone of your voice, does it create a safe, beautiful world or another world? Just have a short look at the tone of your thought voices. Oh, how is that? And also you might have a short look into or about the atmosphere this thinking process creates, the voice of this thought creates. The atmosphere is like the tapestry of your innermost living room. This is the room you live in, the atmosphere you live in. And just, is this a friendly, bright, loving, beautiful room? Are there worries? Is there happiness? Regret, reproach, joy? Are you allowed to be yourself in this room? This is my innermost living room where I'm really who I am. You might take a breath here and there. And even if you're pressuring yourself, oh, look at that, this is what I'm doing. And you can bet you're not stupid. Somehow you learned that and it made sense, and we could have a look at that. But this is first of all where we start. What if you open a window into a bright sunny sunshine day in this space? You hear the birds, you smell the fresh air. So maybe, however the space is, you might be able to make it a little bit more beautiful if you like. You don't need to, but you can. And also have a look if the space is big enough. Maybe it needs a little bit more space. You can move the walls far out as much as you need it. As much as the maturity of today needs it. Your maturity. And you might be able to take a breath again. And also have a short look, how am I feeling in my innermost, in my brain, in my innermost living room just now? And of course also, how is my physical body doing? Am I comfortable? Do I hold some tensions? Am I thirsty, hungry, happy? Okay. And then if you like, you can open your eyes and look at all the people looking at you. On the right top of this window, there is a field. You can change your settings into speaker view, then you will mostly see me. into gallery view, then you will see a lot of more people. And you also might have a short look in, oh, how does my system react? How does my system react when there are all these people? Maybe you can have your space, maybe you contract a little bit. You just can check for a moment. Maybe you feel safe with them. Because on, let's say, on your mature side, you of course know most probably they are hundreds or thousands of miles away. Maybe they're even on a different continent. Maybe that's good news. Have them as far away as you need. Or maybe have them as close as you need. Also to see if some, because fear also has to do with safety. So that for a moment we might check, how do I create safety by distancing people, keeping them away? Do I create safety by closeness? Or maybe both, here and there. Does my safety or the state of being afraid or cautious, is that dependent on people at all? Even if we like some people more than others, but are people, or is the world generally a safe place? Is the world generally at least a suspicious place? How does that look inside of you? What is your programming here? What is your programmed expectation about the world? Because from the really rational mind, we most probably would agree that this moment is physically, emotionally, mentally safe. You're sitting mostly alone in a room. At least for the most people it looks like, even if you're sitting in your car or something. So according to planetary standards, it's safe, but this does not necessarily mean that we feel safe. There is something else going on maybe. And that from a safe place also we can look at it. Oh, look, I generally have a safe feeling, or I generally have a little bit a careful, cautious feeling. So that we also looked at this state has a lot to do with, let's say, the experiences of the past, our expectations. And then it also has a lot to do with, let's say, the space we take. So just as maybe a small experiment. When you look at them, I don't know really about them. And you pull a little bit back inside yourself. No, thank you. Pull a little bit back inside. Then there is a gap. And Some of our fears are just this, the gap. Our pulling back and the distance. And if you like, you come back again. You take your space. And for some of us, that might already be a relief. I can feel them again. There's connection. So, in my perspective, some forms of fear have to do with us pulling back, with distance. And then, of course, as children, when we are distant from the mature people, we are in danger. Maybe we learn to distance because also our parents or caretakers are distant. So it has, of course, reasons that we are like that, but some forms of fear have only to do with the space we take. And some forms of fear have to do with experiences, special experiences. About men and women, means fathers and mothers, also siblings, peers, dogs, horses, all kind of things. Mostly glued to a certain experience. And also some fears tell us that definitely something new is appearing in my life. And as much as I look into my data banks, I don't find something. So I cannot kind of tell the future about the situation. It's new. I have no idea. I need to find out. And then, of course, there might also be, like, let's say, more intense fears, which are, let's say, exceeding a little bit the normal societal range, like phobias, or when we experience trauma, accidents, very dangerous things, something like this. And of course, all these different fears also need, in a way, let's say, a different approach or a different caretaking. Some of the fears, it's good to approach them. For some of the fears, it's only important to take space again. And if you like, you can for a moment experiment with this, with these pulling back. You see how you feel then. Oh, I pull back from a situation, I pull back from them. To get a feeling about your state. How do you feel then? You pull back inside. How old are you then? Inside, are you the mature being I can look at now? Or do you feel younger? And then, of course, you also can expand again. And see, oh, how do I feel when I have my space? And then, of course, fear or safety have to do with the physical body. For some of us, feeling ourselves more is a trigger. And for some of us, feeling ourselves more is a sweet, safe home. And also to check that in yourself for a moment, to feel yourself. Does that feel safe, or is that something you most probably would like to avoid because And however it is, this is the best for the very moment. This is how it is just now.